Hey, what's going on there, guys and gals? Welcome back. I'm riding on the wicked Kawasaki ZZR1400 in a very, very lovely looking area. I honestly don't know how I find these places. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to give you 5 of the stupidest things you could ever do on a motorcycle. Let's jump on. Let's go. Alright, so clearly on a motorcycle, there's a lot of really dumb things you can do. I mean, just not doing U-turns properly, overtaking in the wrong places, things like that. But in today's video, I'm going to try and give you some of the stupidest things that I think even I have been tempted of doing at least once, maybe twice, during my 13 years of riding motorcycles. Yeah, the very first one, guys and gals, is lane splitting. Now filtering is perfectly fine, all right? Now I know that a lot of people use the terms lane splitting and filtering interchangeably, but I like to differentiate them by lane splitting is filtering whilst traffic is moving, whereas filtering is, well, filtering when traffic is not moving, when it's stationary. It's not worth it, because you will see drivers trying to change lanes quickly, and of course when traffic is really close together but it's still moving, that just gives loads of drivers plenty of opportunities to try and switch lanes. And I know that you're gonna, people are gonna do it anyway, and I think when it comes to filtering, if the traffic is moving like less than 10 miles an hour, then I personally still do it. Just because it's a lot harder for drivers to find a space in other lanes when traffic is moving at 10 miles an hour or less. So there's not as much of a risk, but even so, if you want to stay safe, then don't even do it at all when traffic is moving. Just do it when they're totally stationary, totally stopped, and you know they're not going to move anywhere. But lane splitting is one of those things that you see a lot of riders doing. In the UK, that's actually illegal. Filtering whilst the traffic is moving is actually illegal. See, look at this, man. Look at this. I'm really jealous of the person who lives there. What a lovely place to live. It's so cool. This is so lovely. Yeah, what an awesome road. But yeah, lane splitting, guys, is a surefire way of getting yourselves killed. It is a one-way ticket to the motorcycle gods, that's for sure. So yeah, I personally wouldn't lane split, and I wouldn't encourage you guys to do it either. You see clips of it all the time where people are lane splitting and cars just end up moving in front of them, because that's the thing, they just don't check their mirrors when it's moving like that. People do not check their mirrors. They see like half a gap kind of like on one side or the other, and they think, oh yeah, I'll just go for it. Yeah, they're not even looking, especially because you're going faster than everyone else. So yeah, man, lane splitting is certainly not something that I'd ever recommend that you do. But anyway, moving on. God, man, the list is endless of stupid things you can do on a motorcycle. Now look, I know this is gonna come across as a bit like, what? But doing wheelies. Yeah, I know, alright. I love wheelies, I think they're so cool, they're badass, but they serve no purpose. The reason why a motorcycle has 2 wheels is to keep both of them on the ground, you know? You don't, why if you want to ride a unicycle, well, get rid of that front wheel and just ride a unicycle. Yeah, they are awesome, they are cool, and I myself want to learn how to do wheelies properly. And don't get me wrong, there is a perfectly good time and place to do wheelies and really just show off, man. Show off how awesome your motorcycle is. Because honestly, I love wheelies, man. They're so cool. They're so cool. Now, I am going to differentiate this a little bit, or caveat this a little bit. Clutch up wheelies are far easier to control, alright? So I would never ever recommend that you try doing power wheelies everywhere, because you're traveling at a ridiculous speed. I don't know, going at least 60 mile an hour trying to do a power wheelie on a lot of bigger bikes. So if you're gonna do wheelies, do clutch ups, practice clutch ups, get good at clutch ups, because they're just safer to do. Not just for you, but I think they're even easier on the bike as well. Or maybe it doesn't make much of a difference, but yeah, just it's not worth it. Yeah, I mean, you see so many videos of riders. They're pulling wheelies, they're really cool. They end up going too far and they just fall off the back of the bike, and yeah, the bike goes tumbling down the road. And you know, if you ask them, well, was that worth it? I bet they'll probably say no, and a lot of the time they're really embarrassed and they're like, oh, it's so dumb, why the hell did I do that? Yeah, cause it isn't worth it, is it? It's not worth the value of the bike, is it? Just to be able to pull wheelies, I don't think. But look, each to your own. If you're really good at wheelies, then, well, who am I to say? But if you really want to learn how to do wheelies, then just don't do them in public. Practice them in enclosed areas where you've got plenty of room, no traffic around you, and where you can be a bit level-headed, you know? You're not around your mates or something like that who can encourage you to do stupid things. And yeah, because unfortunately mates will, they have a habit of making you wreck your bike, because they'll just encourage you to do really stupid things that you yourself wouldn't normally do if you're riding on your own. So yeah, unfortunately guys, I'm going to put wheelies on the list of one of the most stupidest things you can do on a motorcycle, mainly because so many people want to do them, and it ain't worth it. It's not worth it at all, unless you're trying to be a stunt rider or something like that. But then again, you have a motorcycle that's built for stunting anyway, you know, so that kind of thing, it makes sense. But I suppose you could also apply the same things to endos or stoppies. Again, you don't need to practice those, you don't need those. Just try and keep the bike on two wheels. That's when you know you're going to be safest. I mean, the biggest issue with wheelies is the fact you can't see what's going on in front of you unless you are standing up on, I don't know, the pillion pegs or something like that. Then you can't actually see what's going on in front of you. The front end of the bike is covering your view of the road, so you got to like move your head like this from side to side to actually see which way you're going. And look, it's a pheasant! It's a pheasant! You dickhead! That's it, go, yeah, that's it, fly away! Pheasants are such dicks. They always just like wander. Oh god, they're brainless, man. They're totally brainless. Anyway, so I mean, I suppose that's one other thing I could mention about wheelies as well, is that if you're going to do wheelies, don't hold them for miles and miles and miles on end. Just hold them for a few seconds or so, if that. And you know, you've pulled the wheelie, you've shown off to everyone. You know, a wheelie has done what it has needed to do, so be content with that, and at least it gives you a lot more time to get the bike back under control again. Because let's be honest here, you're never ever going to be 100% control of the bike whilst you're pulling a wheelie, are you? Oh look, it's a defibrillator now. The red telephones are now defibrillators. Here's another one, and unfortunately this does happen quite often, and there's braking whilst going around a bend. At least using the front brake more specifically. Using a rear brake, trail braking, you'll find a lot of riders will actually encourage you to do that mid-corner, just because it gives you again a little bit more control whilst you're in the bend. That's only under extreme circumstances though, where you know you've really hit the bend way too quick. But again, you can go around a bend using your front brake, but it all depends on how much lean angle you've got. If you've got a massive lean angle or a fat lean angle, and you put on that front brake even just a little bit, the bike is just going to dive out from underneath you, and you're not going to have a chance to save it. So again, just make sure that if you're coming up to a bend, you slow down more than you probably need to. because then you won't have to apply any brake pressure whatsoever on either of the brakes, so you can just go around the bend. So we're going to take this right here, so I'm going to slow right down, downshift a couple of times, downshift another time. Well, I can't actually turn in because the car is oncoming, but I would have had plenty of time to make that bend. And again, it all kind of depends on how familiar you are with the road, how comfortable you are with the road, but even then I wouldn't necessarily push it too far, just in case there's something that happens that you're not expecting and you're not actually able to make the bend. Again, you see it all too often. I mean, let's speed up a little bit. Let's see if I can reach a bend here so I can actually demonstrate what I mean. These are quite sweeping bends, so you can hit these bends pretty damn quick. But okay, let's pretend this one. So brake, clutch, rev, match, down gear. There you go. Something like that. Hopefully we can come to an even sharper bend and I can actually do it properly. But just brake well before the corner. Brake as hard as you can, well before the corner, in a straight line. Here we go. There we go. So because what will happen is if you hit a bend too hard and you try braking, what a lot of riders would instinctually do is actually pick the bike up. So they're in the bend and then you try picking the bike up so it goes straight. Wow, fair play. Oh wow, alright guys. Wow, okay, I didn't even see those guys coming. Alright, well. Anyway. So you see, oh god, bloody hell, I lost my train of thought now. Thanks guys, you dicks. Oh, anyway, what was I saying? So bikers, they'll try to straighten the bike out because then you get the maximum amount of braking force when you're actually upright. But then they don't have enough time to actually make the bend. Let's see if I can do it here. Let's see if I can catch up with these guys, shall I? There's a bit of gravel there. I don't know if I'll be able to catch up with them, but we'll see. So this is something else that you shouldn't be doing. Trying to race other bikers. Man, but these roads are hella fun. Just wish that there was a single track road. Yeah, these guys are punching it. Woo! I just about caught up with them. No need to do any more, but there you go. They're part of some kind of biker gang. They're both wearing jackets, I didn't notice that. Oh. Sorry, I just got to get that out of me. Woo! What else, man? I mean, I suppose the fourth thing here can just be being a general dick. Us riders, we already have a bad enough reputation in the eyes of most people, and actually most riders are perfectly decent people. They're not stupid, they're sensible. You know, all they want to do is just have a good time on their bikes, and that's it. You know, they're not out to try and offend anyone or anything like that, or trying to, I don't know, try and be dicks to people. But unfortunately, there is those few riders that are dicks, and I don't know, for whatever reason, they feel like they're the best thing that ever happened, God's gift to the earth, and they just make a bad name for all of us, you know, and it really isn't necessary. Woo! Wow, first gear on this bike is so good. But yeah, just don't be a dick. Just be a decent person, be a good rider, be considerate, be patient as well. I know that it's really easy for us to just get ahead of ourselves and get a little bit impatient with people who are in front of us, because most drivers are going to be slower than us. So, you know, just try and be considerate. Don't frighten people, don't intimidate people, don't ride really close to people. You don't need to do any of that stuff. So it just makes, I don't know, it just helps our image, right? I've done a few videos in the past about the biker image and why it's so negative, and you know, we just need a few more decent riders around. I know that you can say the same thing about drivers, but then again, there are lots of drivers on the road that are irresponsible, stupid, not even necessarily because they want to be, but just because they don't know anything else, you know, they don't know better. But us bikers, we do know better. Alright guys, last point I got for you in today's video, and again, this does kind of tie in with not being a dick, but again, you see this very often where riders are very irresponsible with pillions on the back. They just end up riding like maniacs. The thing to remember, guys, is that pillion riders, they have no idea about motorcycles. They've got no idea about how fast they are, and we have a duty to spread the positive messages that motorcycles, or the positive things that motorcycles have to offer. But if all you're doing is scaring the absolute shit out of your pillion, then what do you think they're gonna think when they get back? They're gonna be like, wow, that was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. You know? And it's just stuff like that, man. They don't need to experience that. You want them at the end of that experience, you want them to think, wow, I want to do that again. That was so much fun. Gotta do that again. That's the kind of reaction that they should have at the end of it, because that's how I feel every single time whenever I've finished a ride. I always, oh bloody hell, God's sake, honestly. Because that's how I feel every single time whenever I finish the ride. I'm like, that was awesome, I gotta do it again, that's so good. Oh, I gotta go down that way and see what's there. But yeah guys, honestly, bikers, we have a lot of responsibility to not be stupid, and it's very easy to be stupid on machines like these. They can really get the better of you more often than not if you're not careful, and yeah, they can really give us all a bad name and also get you killed and a lot of it. So yeah, just be responsible, guys. All right, take it easy. There's no need to ride fast everywhere. You can just chill. Well, there's a massive pothole that was absolutely giant. It was in the middle of the road as well, and it wasn't even marked either. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, yeah, just be good. All right, be good riders, be decent riders, make a good name for us, because we deserve it. You know, this hobby is one of the best things you will ever do in your life, and that's why it's so addictive. That's why so many people are so passionate about it. But yeah, anyway, thank you ever so much again for watching. Take care, ride safe, leave a like, hit subscribe, let us know down in the comment section below any of the stupidest things that you've ever done or witnessed, and we will catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.